In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make 7th chords using the Subharmonicon in 8 steps equal temperament. We're going to make a classic jazz chord progression that's 1, 6, 2, 5. And how we're going to do it is we're going to take advantage of the 3rd and 2nd subdivisions. Those make a perfect 5th. And by superimposing 2 perfect 5ths on top of each other, we can make 7th chords. The first thing we're going to want to do is tune our oscillators. So make sure that your sequences aren't assigned. I'm going to bring up a tuner, turn down everything but the main oscillator, and tune this note to middle C. There we go. The second oscillator, I'm going to tune to E. So here's the thing. Although it's 8 steps equal temperament, we're not actually going to be playing in the key of C major. We're going to be playing in the key of F major. Because if we look at the subdivisions of 3 and 2, let's take a look at the first one. It's F. And the next one, C. And then if we go here, A, which is the 3rd of an F major chord. And then the last one, E. That together makes an F major 7 chord. Now, even as you move your chords around, you're going to run into some issues that I'm going to address in a second. But first, let's set our bass notes of our chord progression, which is 1, 6, 2, 5, or F major 7. The 6 is D minor 7. The 2 is G minor 7. And the 5 is C dominant 7, or C7. I already have my bass notes set in my sequencer, but basically you want to set the first step so that it's at 0, so it doesn't impact the sound at all. And you can tell because as I toggle this on, it doesn't change the sound. This one's at -2. So that's just plain F, F, D. This one's at +1. And let's walk up from F to C. F, G, A, B, C. Now we have our chord progression. This will probably sound pretty familiar. Actually, if we turn this down to the lower C, it will sound really familiar. So listen to this. I think I like it at the higher C because it's just not quite as in your face. Now we have to set the second sequencer to the same settings. We can't use the sequencer to VCO2 here because that would change the key of VCO2. So here I've done that. So let's hear all of them together. I've turned on my sequencer 2 here. So here is something different. If we set it to the same settings, let's listen to just oscillator 2. You see, I've set this one to slightly different settings. And the reason why is because if I did it to the same and had this be an E, then the 7th would be a major 7th, which is not in the key of F major. And that's the hard part about this technique, is it's not perfect. You can't set it so a 5th and a 5th because in a dominant 7th chord, the space between the 3rd and the 7th is not a perfect 5th. In fact, it's a diminished 5th. Now, for a minor 7th chord, it is a perfect 5th, so that still works. But whenever you're factoring in a dominant 7th, you're going to have to adjust it so that this note plays the 7th. And then that it kind of messes things up because then this will be playing an F. So is it really a C dominant 7th? You could consider it like a dominant 7th at 11 or something. Either way, I still think it has that same sort of feel to it. So let's hear what it sounds like all together when this is playing the B flat. Nice. It has a kind of jazzy vibe to it. So using this technique also, so you have to have all of these kind of programmed together. You can only really use a 4-step sequencer. So what I like to do to get polyrhythms is actually set both 2 rhythms to both sequencers. That way you can get a nice polyrhythm going. Keep with that kind of jazz vibe. We want to have like stabbing chord progressions, almost like a jazz piano would play them. And when you're playing this with the sequence, you want to make sure that the sequence is playing in F major. All of these will play within the same key, so to get different voicings, you can mess around as you're performing with the levels of each of the knobs. To give you an idea of what this sounds like, I've hooked up a basic patch with the mother and the DFAM, and I'm going to play it for you. I'm playing it at a moderate level with a little bit of swing coming from the mother. The mother is serving as our main clock. Here's what it sounds like. It's got that kind of jazzy, funky vibe to it. So there you go. That's one way you can play 7th chords using the sub. So I hope you found this video helpful and that you enjoy this technique. I'm coming close to the end of my Subharmonicon tutorial. I've only got 2 videos left that I have planned anyways. One covering just the basics of using 12-step equal temperament, and then one where we talk about just intonation and the difference between just intonation and equal temperament. But I plan to keep making more of these videos as I discover new things about them or as people reach out to me with resources and patch ideas. So make sure to reach out if you have an idea or something that you think would be good for a video. Also make sure that you like and subscribe so that you don't miss any videos coming up. I've got a handful of random videos in the works, like mixing maths with the DFAM, but I'm really excited to jump into a full tutorial on the mother. So that's going to be the next big project that I jump into. If you like these patch ideas, I put them all on Patreon with detailed explanations, so that way you can easily refer to them and go back and do them on your own. I would really appreciate the support if you signed up. It helps me offset the cost of videos. Either way, I hope you really enjoyed this video and that you keep watching. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.